Um, I actually didn't come prepared to talk. I came prepared to drum with all of you, which we will be doing in a little while. But in addition to what all was said in terms of my introduction, I also have a son with autism, a 20-year-old son with autism. So in some ways, I am a caregiver of a person with some kind of neurodevelopmental challenges. So I'm also that. Um, well, what do I say? I think what she just spoke about was extremely illuminative. I mean, I didn't really know so much about schizophrenia. But one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention in terms of just what we are discussing is that people with severe mental illnesses are also great artists. So since I come from an art background, there is a whole movement in mainstream art all over the world from about the 70s, which is called the outsider art movement. So this is of people with any kind of mental illness who create the most fascinating art. I mean, it's like really wonderful art, and it's completely not taught. So which is why it's called, I mean, it's not an art which is taught. It is just something which is an outpouring of themselves. And I mean, there are museums. Unfortunately, we don't have too much of that in India, but I think there are small initiatives. But otherwise, in the US, in Europe, there are actually centers which only serve to bring out this art. So I now forget where it was. I think it was in New York, where there were two psychiatrists who took over a space when this whole movement towards moving away from institutional care to community-based care emerged. There was this huge, what were called mental hospitals or asylums in quotes, which ended up becoming vacant. So these two psychiatrists actually took up that space, and they created it into a space for people with any kind of mental illness, or anybody who could come and create art. So it would just be, I mean, it's, you can imagine the institutional space was huge. So there were just rooms and rooms, and all the material would be provided. So there would be easels, there would be all kinds of watercolors, acrylic, I mean, very good material which was being provided. And there would be a line. They would open at 9 o'clock, and there would be a line outside of people wanting to come and use those services. And the role that art plays, I mean, you did talk of various kinds of intervention, but the role that art plays also for all of us, I mean, it's not only for people with any kind of issues or with illnesses, but for all of us, the role that art can play in terms of one's own healing, one's own expression is immense. And maybe in the space that you're talking about, that SCARF is setting up, or what you've been saying, that, these spaces, how can we bring more art into it, would be something that we could probably also, work together over. So, I mean, I just wanted to possibly bring another angle to this whole discussion. Thank you.